Okay, folks, this will be an interesting one. This is something that heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps of people follow by the millions, maybe, I don't know, tens of millions. Heaps of people love this shit. It's something I don't fucking like. It's not my cup of tea, but we're going to present it anyway for those who do enjoy it. Just another fanboy and fangirl institution as far as I'm concerned. I'm not interested on myself as a person. I'm not interested in being a fangirl of anything, including my own interest, the photocopier industry. I don't follow that. Or telecom, no, technology, should I say. I don't follow these things because they're all about greed and porkery, and they don't care about anyone less fortunate. They're just money fuckers. But I don't like this shit, never have. And this is it. Sport. This is State of Origin. This front cover. And I even hate I hate the name of what they call the New South Wales team. They call the Queensland team the Maroons, and the New South Wales get called the Blues. And I hate the word blues because it makes me feel depressed. It's a fucking word I associate with being lonely and not being with someone you love, having the blues like in the music. And I don't like the word blue. It just evokes depression and sadness and anxiety and panic attacks and feeling like life isn't worth it. It's like, fuck, I hate the word blue. It's just so fucking awful. That's really looked interesting here. We cut the man's head off. Looks a bit wishy-washy. But yeah, I just don't like the word blue. I just hate it, folks. I know it just triggers me. It's like a trigger. It just triggers anxiety, depression, feeling sad, not feeling like you're enjoying yourself. You can't enjoy yourself. And I really hate that feeling, folks. I really do. I really wish I didn't feel so down on myself, being lonely, not being with my partner Luigi, being blue in that respect, not having my art recognised, even though I'm talented. It really upsets me that I can't be with my partner Luigi. So I get blue all the time, and that's come up looking really quite interesting, actually. I think we could utilise that. Looks interesting. And I don't like sport anyway, folks, especially, I just don't like sport, and I don't like footy, like rugby league, so I just don't have any interest. I found this newspaper, incidentally. It was found. It was not a, I do wonder if maybe I could be a little bit more creative with this piece here. I do wonder if maybe I could enlarge it, maybe down a bit, or maybe not. I'm going to maybe make it like, you got him there in the corner, which really looks quite interesting. But yeah, I just get so lonely and I get so desolate, and I'm trying to get on the news as a photocopier artist. I'm trying to get recognised as an artist and trying to get in touch with my partner Luigi, who I really miss. And I'm trying to put the past behind me because the past brings back the blues. I had the blues big time back then. I was so depressed. I was afraid of dying, and that basically triggered a whole lot of shit that I did wrong because I was afraid of dying. And I just had the blues big time, and fearing death is probably one of the most blue things a person can go through, is to fear fear death, or what happens when you die. What happens when you die, folks? That's the thing. It's a very scary, it can be a very scary thing, folks, being afraid of death. It's really not something you wish on your worst enemy, folks. Being afraid of death is indeed a horrid experience to deal with. It's the most horrible feeling. And I've come out a survivor, and this is what's led me to come here, because I've fucked up so big. I had opportunities when I was young. I never took them. I never became a recognised artist, and I never got married to my partner Luigi, and I'm still a virgin waiting for him to come back into my life through the 6 o'clock news. That's come up looking interesting, but I do like that. He looks too blue and too blended, colour-wise. He looks blended. But I really miss my partner Luigi, and I'm trying my hardest to get back in touch with him, and I'm trying to get on the 6 o'clock news, and it's proving to be really difficult. And I do have the blues often, being alone and separated from him and not having his company, because I was afraid of dying and had no reason to be afraid. I've got hope that there's a better place when I die, and same with him. And you can't allow the fear of death to just scuttle your life if you can avoid it, folks. And that's come up looking better. Looks a bit more wishy-washy, but I like the colour in that. The colouring is good. I think I might maybe darken it a bit. But yeah, it's like fear of death is indeed one of the nastiest things a person can ever have to go through. It's not a nice feeling. It's really scary. You feel like you're vulnerable. You feel like a piece of food that's going to be eaten, like a pretty birthday cake shaped in the shape of a human, and you feel, or a jelly baby, and you just feel a sense of depression identifying with these edible morsels that don't have a future. And really, it's really a horrible feeling to think like that, folks. To constantly be on your guard, to be afraid that you're going to die as a result of foul play, because foul play is everywhere. You hear it on the news all the time. They always talk about all this shit about death, disease, disaster, destruction, and they just keep banging it on all the time. They just keep fucking going on and on and on and on about these deathly things. And you wonder why people do get scared of death, and they see it on the news, and the news evokes these feelings and these fears, because you feel like it's everywhere, that somehow you're going to be the next target, that somehow a criminal's going to fucking come into your life and kill you, and it's really horrible. That's come up looking better than I thought, actually. So yeah, we got to somehow find hope, and somehow hope that we don't have to fear death and feel like our wings are being clipped. Because when you're fearing death, folks, you just don't take risks, you just play it safe. And it's in playing it safe that you often end up in danger. Like I ended up in, for example, in abusive, instead of being in the loving arms of Luigi, I ended up being in multiple relationships, being sexually abused. I've been sexually abused all because I played it safe, back when I had the opportunity to marry someone who really loved and cared for me. So don't allow your life to get ripped off by this fear of death, folks. I can't disclose at this stage what the solution is. It's a bit of an unintuitive solution. You have to somehow find it. I'm sure that I'll give you the answer to that cryptic question maybe eventually, but at the moment I can't, because I know you're not going to like what I have to say. You're not going to like the solution, if chances are. So I know, I wish I could tell you folks, because it's really nice and liberating not to fear death anymore. But I can't talk about it here or at this stage. But I still get depressed about other things that have happened as a result, like not being with my loved one, Luigi. I really miss him, but I'm still going to keep fighting for my life on the 6 o'clock, trying to get on the 6 o'clock news. And that's come up looking really interesting. I think I can now call this demo quits.